YouTube, what's up? It's your boy, the American African. Carnivore diet. I've been on this diet for like 2 weeks, a little bit over 2 weeks now, and I've been learning some things, just naturally. And I'm finally just decided to, okay, now I can go in the forums and read some things, right? I like to dive into diets head first sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, just so I can get my own experience. And then when I start to have issues, then I'll start to look at things, right? So the issue that I encountered was lightheadedness, right? And I remember the first time I experienced it on this diet, it was like maybe day 2 or 3. And I checked my blood pressure. My blood pressure was high. It was like 160 over 100 or something like that. So I was like, okay, it's not low blood pressure. Normally, when I felt that sort of thing, it was like low blood pressure. It also didn't. It also wasn't from like orthostatic hypotension. It wasn't from going from laying down to sitting down to standing up. It was like just as I was standing up, just as I was walking around, I just felt lightheaded, and I was like, I guess this is a good thing. Like it didn't feel like negative, but it didn't feel good. So I was like, something ain't right, right? And I kind of know from experience it has something to do with electrolytes. Now the issue was that I was doing carnivore diet and water fasting, right? So I did carnivore diet, and then I water fasted for like 3 days or something like that, or was it 7 days? I don't remember. And I think it was 4 days. And then when I do water fasting, a lot of times I take diuretics, right? So I was drinking Zevia, right? The 0 calorie soda with just pretty much stevia and some flavoring. So I was taking that, and that was like draining out my electrolytes, right? Because I was drinking a lot of it. And then going into carnivore diet, where I'm not really eating that much sodium too. It's just something was funky, and then you also got potassium and magnesium, right? So my theory was it's probably potassium, right? I was probably depleting my potassium levels, and I wasn't replenishing it. So now I kind of pay attention for that thing, and I try and take pills more often. I really hate pills, but yeah, I try to take pills more often. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I've been reading about the carnivore diet. I finally started to dive into the zero carb subreddit. I always start at the FAQ section, right, the facts section, and looking at the zero carb Reddit. I'm learning some things. You know what I'm saying? And they're so different from what I'm used to practicing, right? I'm so used to practicing fasting, fasting, fasting all the time, and now I'm kind of reading about when you do zero carb, the negative side effects from fasting could affect your carnivore diet, your zero carb diet, right? Basically, when you do zero carb, sicko, whatever you want to call it, right? Calories in, calories out. It doesn't apply to zero carb. Zero carb is satiation, right? You eat meat and water, and you eat until you're no longer hungry, and you don't eat again until you're hungry again, and that's just pretty much the cycle. And pretty much with this diet, at least what they say is you don't need to fast. They also say you don't need to count your calories. So it's a little different than what I'm used to. And it's not that I don't believe it. I actually kind of am starting to come to an understanding as I read some things and stuff like that. But I don't know if I'm able to do that, right? Like, okay, for example, I've been trying to do OMAD with the carnivore diet, right? I've been trying to do OMAD. And one thing I read is that with the carnivore diet, OMAD is not recommended, right? That's pretty much it, fasting, right? So it's not recommended. I can't imagine like eating 2 or 3 meals a day, but I have done it, right? Like today, for example, I ate at 1 p.m. It's now 6:30. I'm probably gonna eat by like 7 or 8. And another strange thing, not strange, but you see how I said I might eat at 7 or 8? It's really like when I get hungry again. I'm trying it. I look at the scale and I'm like, okay, it is working. Some days I eat maybe too much. Some days I eat maybe too little fat. But it is working. I am learning. I am seeing this diet. And if I want to do this diet long term, I will have to surrender to the diet, right? I will have to surrender, meaning I will have to do what's best for me, my health. in terms of completing this diet successfully, right? So that means I would cut fasting. Well, if that would mean that I wouldn't do like OMAD, I probably would still do intermittent fast, right? Maybe like a 16-8. But if that means, yeah, I won't be doing like a OMAD style diet or 48 hours, 72 hours, that all that sort of stuff anymore because I'm doing carnivore, I will have to surrender to it. I think that with carnivore diet, I can still do 3-day water fast once a week or whenever I feel like it. It shouldn't really hurt me. Um, it should help me continue to lose weight actually. And from the past week when I did do that, I did see results. Um, it's possible, and I plan to do a 3-day water fast starting Tuesday, ended by Friday. I really want to do a longer fast, but I already know when the weekend comes around and I see the sun out there looking nice and everything looking nice, I'm gonna be like, I ain't fasting. I want some sashimi. I want some steak. I finally also hit a point where I say, okay, it's not that I'm tired of ground meat, but I do need variety. I do need to mix it up. Let me cook a steak, or let me let me bake some chicken, or I'm starting to think like that now. I won't say I'm getting bored of the ground meat. I'll just say that I don't want to get bored of it. I've been eating a lot of beef. And I think I'm starting to like. It's that feeling when I'm eating tacos back to back to back to back. It's like I'm tired of beef. So yeah, that's my little update, man. I'm still pushing through this spring. Today I weighed in at 228. Yesterday it was 225. The day before that was like 228. I'm fluctuating, but this is part of the process. That's one, and the way that I'm fluctuating, it kind of makes me not want to water fast because I kind of want to see what happens if I do carnivore consecutively without water fasting. Is there a point in time in which my body says, okay, I'm fat adapted properly, I'm using the protein and the fat properly, and based off your lifestyle and the amount that you're eating, we're going to continue to decrease in weight, right? A part of me feels like in order for that to happen, I have to understand why it's happening, right? Because if it's not due to fasting and if it's not due to caloric deficit, then why is it happening, right? Is it just simply ketosis? So that's why I kind of started diving into the forums and learning. But yeah, if you've done a carnivore diet before, you want to put some input in there, go ahead. It's all good. It's all love. It's your boy, the American African. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for tuning in. We pushing through spring. Persevere, never say die. They call it defense on your boy. Peace.